Right, similar to things we've discussed in class before, an argument is some sort of statement or scenario, and generally this is going to be a compound statement, and a conclusion. So that is going to make even more of a compound scenario. We test arguments by looking for tautology. Remember tautology is total truth. So we're looking for all truths in a column for an argument to be true. So here's my scenario. If Miss Slyman is knitting, she is watching TV. And here's my statement. Miss Slyman is knitting. So then the conclusion would be, then I must be watching TV. So let's see how we would put this all together. I'm going to make P that I'm knitting. So I should say Miss Slyman is knitting. My Q statement is going to be that I'm watching TV. Okay. So if I'm knitting, then, and there's an implied then here, so this first sentence is going to be if P, then Q. I am knitting. So if P and Q, and I am knitting. So now if this whole thing happens, then am I also watching TV? We want to know if that is true. So this is my final argument that I'm wanting to test. So from our truth table, true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. Again, I can look at my formula booklet. So I know my if-then statement is true, false, true, true. So now I'm looking at this column first and P. So when I'm looking at my truth table to help me, this column first, so I'm going to be looking over here for the match. I'm matching that with P, so I'm actually going to be looking in my Q column because that's my second column, and I'm going to be looking with my and. So here's first, here's second. So I've got true, 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 true. With my and, that leads to a true. And now I have false, true, because I'm looking in this order. So false, true. Now I come find my match. False, true. With my and, that leads to a false. True, false. So true, false. That leads to a false. True, false. We've just said that that leads to a false. Now I'm looking at this section as my first column. So that whole thing's going to be my first. I'm going to look at Q as my second. And overall, I'm looking in my if-then. So true, 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 true. Looking at my if-then makes a true. Now I've got false, 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 makes a true. False, true, false, true, makes a true. False, false, we've seen already, makes a true. So I have a tautology. So since, if P then Q, and P then Q is a tautology, then the argument is valid.